Sup peeps, Sonny here, and with so many different digital audio workstations available on the market, it's hard to find one that fits you. So here's a look into the top 3 DAWs that I use: Logic, Ableton, and Pro Tools. So first up, we have Apple's Logic Pro X. Logic is by far the most consumer-friendly DAW on this list with the most graphically appealing interface. It's priced just under $200, and if you see my previous video on student discounts, you can snag all of Apple's Pro apps in a bundle for the same price. This is one DAW where you can practically jump in right out of the gate, as Apple has done an amazing job with the user interface by having what's important visibly clear, and it's not at all too difficult to simply look at what you want to do. However, my advice is to immediately enable advanced settings under preferences and download as much of the library as needed. Logic has some great stock virtual instruments and samplers like ESX24, Alchemy, Beat Machine, and ES2. So if you do a combination of audio recording and music production, Logic is well-rounded and priced at a fair price point. And there's also the educational bundle. But if you do a bit of live performances, Ableton is the DAW to look into. Whether you're a music producer, or if you're a DJ, a performer, whatever, Ableton allows you to set up scenes, which can be anything from a short motif to a large musical idea. You can switch between scenes, turn individual parts on and off. You see how useful this can be live? You can record what you just arranged in the session view into the arrangement view, and then of course edit and tweak things. Now, I have Live9 Suite, and I'll leave a link in the description below for reduced student pricing, but obviously only if you're a student. For most users, Suite 9 is a little bit out of the price range at a solid $749, but you can start off with Intro to Live at $99 and upgrade the Suite further down the line. To be honest, I don't think there's that much of a difference in functionality between Standard and Suite, other than Match for Live and like 2,000 plus additional sounds available. I went with Suite because I wanted access to all the available packs, and it cost me about the same as Standard with the student discount. But if you want to do more than just produce, Pro Tools is the way to go. Pro Tools is the industry standard digital audio workstation, but I like to think of it as a post-production software, which is a bit more generalized. People edit video and film score right in Pro Tools, and I've actually used it to sync audio and audio effects to video before. It's actually pretty powerful. It's not something that I'm into, but more recently, Avid Cloud Collaboration has been introduced, which works just like Adobe Creative Cloud and how you share files and projects amongst people. I think it's an amazing integration for collaborating with other artists like myself, or getting an engineer like me to mix a project. But being a part of the Avid Customer Association, I'm like, there needs to be more than just 4 collaborators at a time, but I digress. I seem to think that Pro Tools is more audio-centric, meaning that if you work with a lot of recorded audio stems, Pro Tools is the software to go. For instance, Audio Suite and Pro Tools can be really useful for committing audio processing, which can reduce plug-in-induced latency and reduce the strain on your computer's processor. But because Pro Tools is more of a post-production software, it can be a little intimidating. But if you want to, I recommend starting off with Pro Tools first. It's free and it is a taste of Pro Tools. Now, you can opt for the subscription to Pro Tools if $5.99 is way too much for you. I just assume that people will not be getting Pro Tools HD unless you have $2,500 to burn or this is your full-time job. Again, there is a student discount, so take advantage of that if you can. And if you want to know the difference between Pro Tools HD and the standard version, there's not really that much of a difference as in version 12. So to recap, Logic is a one-stop, well-priced, and well-rounded DAW for most average content creators. Ableton is production-centric. It's great for sampling tunes and arranging tracks. It's a great instrument for live performances, even better paired with the Push 2, which, side note, is now made easier to develop in. And it has a moderate climb from economy to premium pricing. Pro Tools is the industry standard DAW. It's great for most post-production projects, even better for audio-related projects. And it has different pricings from subscription-based to perpetual licenses, which gives you the option to choose whichever pricing you're most comfortable with. And then there's of course Pro Tools HD. As far as I know, Ableton is the only one of the 3 that does not have a first-party complimentary app. Logic has Logic Remote and Pro Tools has EU Control, both of which are really handy, especially if you lack a digital mixer but you have a spare iPad lying around. No matter how you go about it, they all pretty much do the exact same thing. One just happens to do something a little bit better or a little bit easier, and they're all priced differently, but really, ultimately, it just comes down to your personal preference. But that's about it. Hope you guys found this video to be informative. Everything that I mentioned will be linked in the description below, and I'll also include a few helpful links as well. But that's my word. I'll see you when I see you. Deuces.